Are you on the lookout for a new post-apocalyptic game where you can dive into missions and scavenging? Well, this could be the game for you. Hello and welcome to the Critically Curious. I am reviewing Broken Roads. Now, this game has been developed by Drop Bear Bytes and published by Versus Evil. And the game's available across pretty much all platforms, the Xbox, the PlayStation, Switch, and of course the PC. Now, an interesting piece of trivia with this game is that it's actually been made by one of the lead creative from such games as Fallout 2 and Wasteland 2 as well. And you can really get a sense of that DNA within this world. Now, this is a turn-based combat RPG, and it's based within Australia, in the Australian outback. The world has been destroyed as you once knew it, and communities are slowly trying to piece together civilization. This has player agency. You get to choose a difference within the morality system, and different lines of dialogue pop up depending on which side of that pointer you lean down. Whether you want to be in it for yourself, whether you want to be in it for just your community, whether you want to save everybody that you find in a wasteland is completely up to you. And these dialogue choices come at you thick and fast. This game has a huge story, and there's plenty of little side quests that you can pick up along the way too. That being said, you can also choose to ignore them as well. Something of note is that you're not actually walking around like you would expect in most of these types of games. This is a point and click. You point and click on the map where you want your team to go. And this is a squad-based game too. You also have to seek out that information. So you have to find points of interest, find things to interact with to further your storyline. And this game can be described as a love letter to the CRPG genre. It will set you back around £33 depending on which platform you're buying it on, and it takes around 30 hours to complete. I was surprised at just how much dialogue there was in this game and how much free will you kind of had to say what you wanted back. So I kind of really loved some of the options here because some of them were completely out of the ballpark. And of course, there is a set number of origin stories, of backgrounds that you can pick right at the beginning of the game when you're creating your character and your kind of personality. And depending on which option you pick, that gives you more options during that dialogue as well. And of course, you get even more options depending on which morality side you're actually going on. And just because you pick to be a nihilist, for instance, doesn't mean you're tied in to those choices. Like right here, we're talking a poor old Will. He's having a bit of a problem, and we have a variety of different options that we can choose. Now, me choosing to shoot him in the leg actually saves his life. But this interaction could have gone a number of different ways. And how you interact with different characters is going to have long-lasting consequences for your playthrough. And for me, I found this was really good because it allowed me to play the game how I wanted to play it, how I wanted to be represented throughout this game. There was an awful lot of dialogue, and if there's anything I wish for an improvement of the game, it was to be more voice acting. There is voice acting, there is cutscenes and explanation, but there is an awful lot of dialogue. So if you're not prepared to sit back and read the game, then this probably isn't going to be one for you. However, after completing a chapter or a significant part of the game, you do get some pretty good little scenes pop up, furthering the story.
Brookton was, with no hope now. People scattered and ran. Some were found too late. Many weren't found at all. Morning comes, cold, with a hint of fire on the horizon as you cross the vast red desert. The pale faces of the survivors who reached Bally Hall were ovals of white in the darkness when you left, watching as you, Mick, Ella and Mad begin your trek towards the answers none of you were sure you wanted to find.
Personally, I wish this narrator popped up a little bit more, as I really enjoyed it when they popped up throughout the game. One of the things I really liked was the little shops, the little things that you could pick up along the way. This has definitely got elements of that Fallout and that Wasteland. Some of the just random jank that you can find are pretty bloody awesome. And of course, you've got no idea if any of it is of any use, but of course, all of it can be traded to various vendors. The game does also have a leveling system as well, so as you progress through the game, as you complete battles, as you complete quests, you earn a number of experience points, and you can equip and level up certain attribute points. Maybe you want one of your characters to be very smart, maybe you want him to be very strong. You can adjust his leadership, the marksmanship, all of these kind of things, earning little boosts and perks along the way. It's actually a pretty simple system, and one that I found was a lot of fun to tinker around with, especially in the early stages of the game, because you could strip all your attribute points and really design your character the way you wanted to play out. I do wish there was a few more options when it comes to appearance, however, but you know what? There's enough there to make a difference. It's the same with the morality. Right at the beginning of the game, you're given this quiz almost, and you get to choose how you want to answer. And of course, depending on which side of this compass you're on, you actually get different perks from it as well. So it can be very strategic to go all in on one side, or of course spread out your answers depending on how it is you feel like you're going to be wanting to play. And of course, if you want to go absolutely diabolical, then you've got those options there available to you. Now, this is a turn-based combat game. It operates very well, very as you would expect with your AP. You can only perform so many actions before you have to end your turn, and then the next person's going to have a go. It works very the same as all the other turn-based combat games, with initiative to decide who goes first and stuff. But this is more of a narrative story-driven experience. When it comes to exploration, you are given pockets of this world to explore at a time. And you'll need to complete certain objectives before you can move on to the next pocket, before you can move on to the next quest. So keeping a track on what your current quest is a very good idea, because there's no markers, there's no pointers to where you're supposed to go or what you're supposed to do. This is very much a case of you have the options to go and find these informations. And I found myself very often having to pull up the pause menu and go through, look at my current objectives and try and figure out where the hell they were on the map. Like I said, this is very much a slower paced game. That isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I believe it is something you need to know before going in. There's also an awful lot of loading screens, which was a slight problem at times, especially as a mission may cause you to go in one building and then in another building, and then constantly you'll be given this loading screen you have to wait for. Bear in mind, I was playing on the Xbox Series X, which is surprisingly quick. I did also have a game-breaking bug where I couldn't interact with certain areas of the map, meaning my game could not progress at all. I had to restart my game completely, and that was a bit of a bummer. All in all, I did actually enjoy my time playing this game. I was quite intrigued by how my story, my character would develop. And of course, if you're looking for a brand new CRPG, if you're looking for a brand new turn-based combat game, if you want a little bit of a feel of Wasteland or Fallout, then perhaps Broken Road is a game for you. I'm going to give it a solid 6.5 out of 10. And I encourage anyone, if you have played this game, if you have given it a go, let me know what you think of it down in the comments below. And of course, if you've watched to the very end of the review, don't forget to comment red banana down below. Just confuse all the people new to the channel or that didn't watch to the very end. We also have an active Discord where I'll be giving away keys for this game there. So if you want a chance to win a key, join the Discord. You can find a link down below in the comments. But until next time, I've been a monk, we've been Inquisitive Curious, and I'll see you in the next video real soon. Until then, take it easy and happy gaming.